Hey y'all, welcome back to At Home with Chef Jolie. Today we're making my version of a French 75. I call it a Rosé 78, and we're gonna pair that with chicken Parmesan. So let's get into it. Okay, y'all know what I say. We start every good meal or good gathering with a cocktail. My hubby loves a good French 75, so I decided to make my own version, and I call it a Rosé 78 because 78 was a really good year, okay? So it's pretty much like the traditional, except we swap out the gin for vodka. So I'm gonna put couple of ounces of vodka in, and you got the same lemon juice and simple syrup, so I'm gonna squeeze some fresh lemon juice. Y'all know how I am about my fresh veggies and fruits for cocktails and what have you. And then simple syrup, and I'm gonna shake that and then top it with Sparkling Rosé. So pretty much like the standard original version, just, you know, mixing it up with a little bit of meat in there. All right, here we go. Whew, I don't know what it is about that sound, but it always, woo, means the party has started. So vodka, lemon juice, simple syrup, shake it up. And then we're gonna top it off with a sparkling rosé, and not just, you know, regular rosé, has to be sparkling rosé. There we go. Make sure we got enough for 2 cocktails today. I don't wanna be selfish, I'm gonna share. All right, here we go. Then I'm gonna fill it with the rosé, and look at that color. There we go. Like that. I think I got it. Just enough, just a little bit more. There we go, a little bit more. And you know, I'm all about the garnish, all about making the drinks look good, making the food look good. Have a little bit of a lemon twist there, and we can add a little bit more, right? There we go. And then I'm gonna finish it off with a fresh strawberry. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my version of a French 75 that I call a Rosé 78. Let's taste. I can drink this all day and night. Delicious. Cheers. Okay, we have all of our ingredients set up for our delicious, let me tell you, it's gonna be amazing, our chicken Parmesan. And I'm gonna show y'all how to make a quick and easy marinara. You will never, ever have to buy something that comes in a jar with preservatives ever again, because I'm gonna teach you my easy marinara. We're gonna fry the chicken, put it with some pasta and some fresh mozzarella cheese. Trust me, this is gonna become one of your family's favorite weeknight or even Sunday dinner meals. So let's go over to the stove and get started on this sauce. Okay, we are about to make this easy marinara. Just a few ingredients. I'm gonna go in a hot pan. Always preheat your skillets, not just the oven, but preheat your skillet too. So I have a hot pan with olive oil, and then I'm going to add some diced yellow onion, and I'm gonna stir that like that. The next thing I'm gonna add is fresh garlic. What is marinara without fresh garlic? And then once it gets kind of fragrant is when we want to go ahead and start adding our seasonings. Of course, you know I'm going to add a dabaduya. Adding some dabaduya. I'm gonna add also some Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning is just like thyme, dried oregano, all those good, yummy Italian herbs and spices. And you gotta layer the food. So every time I add an ingredient, I add a spice or an herb, and it's smelling so good. So at this point, white wine. Why? Because why not? So I'm gonna deglaze with a little bit of white wine, like that. It smells so good in here. I wish that y'all could smell it. So I'm just gonna get that going, stir it. And you wanna catch that, add that white wine and catch the garlic before it starts to get too brown, because burnt garlic will totally throw off your flavor profile. Next, I have crushed tomatoes. These are just canned crushed tomatoes. Add those like that, and then incorporate. And then I'm gonna go back in and season this marinara with a little bit more adabaduya and a little bit more of our Italian seasoning. Then I have some powdered garlic too. That just enhances that garlic flavor. So a little bit more adabaduya, dried Italian seasoning, and also the garlic powder is in there. A little bit more Italian seasoning. So you want to bring your marinara to a boil. It'll start to boil. Bring it down to a simmer, because as it starts to simmer, that wine and that olive oil and the garlic, all of those flavors will start to get really like happy together. That's what you want. Right at the end, we're gonna add some fresh Italian parsley. And I've told y'all before, not the curly parsley. Italian flat leaf parsley is what you want. Fresh Italian parsley, not the dried stuff. And you just let that simmer and cook down, maybe about 30 or 45 minutes. Let it simmer nice and slow. And I'm telling you, you will never buy marinara in a jar or in a can ever again. This is so easy, and it's better for you too. So this is the marinara that is going to go with our chicken Parmesan. Easy and done. Okay, here's a teeny secret ingredient. You want to add just a pinch of sugar to your marinara. It kind of balances out that acidity and kind of, you know, that tangy and tartness of the tomatoes. Trust me, a little bit of sugar goes a long way. Okay, we just finished that easy marinara. Now we're gonna get into our delicious, crispy, golden chicken. So I have some chicken breast that's been soaking in buttermilk for up to 48 hours, but you can do just 2 or 3 hours if that's all the time that you have. I have flour, I have some egg with some water, and then I have Panko breadcrumbs, which is just a Japanese breadcrumb. And of course, this is not traditional chicken Parmesan. It's my version of chicken Parmesan, and it is just as delicious, trust me. So I have adabaduya. Y'all know that's what's gonna bring it, you know, over the top. So we're gonna season up this Panko breadcrumb with adabaduya, of course. And the only other ingredient that goes in this Panko is some dried Italian seasoning. And that's it. We're gonna mix that up, and then we're gonna go through the breading process. This gets a little bit messy, so don't be afraid to get your hands a little bit dirty. And y'all know I always have a story. Every recipe that I have is inspired by something that happened in my life. So as I'm doing this, let me tell you about how I fell in love with chicken Parmesan. So back in the day, when I was working a 9 to 5, I got sent to Chicago to work for like 6 weeks in January and February in Chicago. It was freezing in the flour, then I'm going to the eggs in the Panko. So what I did not realize, I don't know if y'all know this, but there is a huge Italian population in Chicago. So next to my apartment that I was staying in was this like little mom and pop Italian restaurant. And I went in there and I tried chicken Parmesan. And when I tell y'all, I fell in love. And it made being in Chicago in January and February all worth it. When I tell y'all it was cold, even the rental cars came with snow shovels. That's how cold it was. Okay, this chicken Parmesan made it all worth it. So this is the dirty part. I went in the flour, in the egg mixture, and now in the Panko. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it. So what I have here, I have a sheet pan and I have one of these little racks on here. And don't worry, let me tell you the hack. If you don't have one of these little racks to help the chicken stay crispy and help the skin stay on, I'm spraying it with non-stick spray too. What you can do is get some aluminum foil and scrunch it up really good, and that can take the place of the rack if you don't have one. So no worries. So there we go. It is all breaded, and you want to make sure all sides are coated. And I just kind of pat that Panko breadcrumb and that seasoning in there like that. Here we go. And then I'm gonna go over to the stove. I got my oil heating, and we're gonna just fry it really quickly on both sides, and we're gonna finish it in the oven. You got your marinara done, we got our chicken going, it's gonna go in the oven. We're gonna put it together with some pasta, and I'm telling you, your family is gonna request this over and over and over again. Let's get frying. Okay, we're over at the stove with our nicely breaded chicken, and we're just gonna flash fry it on both sides. So here we go. And then you just wanna get it just a little golden on both sides. We're not cooking all the way through because we're gonna finish it up in the oven, and that's gonna keep it nice and juicy and tender and delicious. After we brown it on both sides, that's when we're gonna add our marinara that we just made, and then our mozzarella cheese. And that goes into a 350-degree oven for about, I'd say 12 to 15 minutes, and then I bump it up to get the cheese nice and brown and delicious. This is easy. And let me tell you, with this part, you can brown both sides and then put it on your wire rack that we talked about. Put it in the refrigerator for a day, up to 2 days, and then pull it out, finish it in the oven when you're ready to feed your family. So, you know, I'm all about those shortcuts that you can take to get good food on the table without a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of hassle. So I think this looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. And then I'm gonna add my mozzarella and my marinara, and we're gonna go into the oven. That's all done. Okay, got my marinara right here. Grab this. And then the amount of marinara just depends on how much marinara you like. I like about that amount because I'm gonna have marinara tossed into my pasta too. So for me, this is the perfect amount. And then as it heats and cooks in the oven, that marinara will spread. And I got some fresh mozzarella here. If you can't find this mozzarella, it's easy to find in your local grocery store. But if you can't find it, shredded mozzarella works as well. But I like this traditional part of the recipe. That's what it looks like. Going into a 350-degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. Longer if you have bigger chicken breasts, less if your chicken breasts are a little bit thinner or a little bit smaller. And then at the end, after those 12-15 minutes, we'll put it up on broil, get it nice, bubbly, and brown, and delicious. Let's do it. Okay, we got the chicken all fried up. Put it in the oven with the marinara and the mozzarella, and let me put it all together so that it can look delicious and amazing. I have my spaghetti that I tossed with the marinara, and then I'm gonna pick, I like this piece right here. Got a little piece of the fried chicken. I'm gonna put it right there, like that. Before I do that, you know what I want? I want some of this Parmesan cheese. So this part is optional, but if you like Parmesan, you know what I say, trust your gut, not the recipe, unless it's my grandmother's mac and cheese. Got the parm on there, put the chicken, and garnish. You know I'm all about the garnish, making it look good. I took some fresh basil and we chiffonaded. I don't know how you say that in past tense, but it's just a fancy word when you take the basil and you roll it up and then you slice it into ribbons. And after we did that, we fried it. And I'm just gonna top it like that. And there we go. That is Jolie's chicken Parmesan. You know, people gonna be asking me, girl, you got Italian in your blood? Yes, I do. Why, yes, I do. Here it is, my chicken Parmesan. Should we taste it? Let's taste it. All right, here we go. Let's taste, see what we got. Oh, it sounds crispy. And that buttermilk, that makes the chicken so moist and tender. Oh gosh. Let's see. Ooh, this is gonna get messy, but that's okay. We're looking for that crunch. Let me do my pasta like that. Okay. I'm telling you, it was just like I remember back in 2001 in Chicago in January and February. Comfort food. It's not just Southern food. All food can be soul food if you cook it with love like I do. Thank y'all again for being at home with Chef Jolie. I need y'all to remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, if you don't turn on the notifications, how you gonna know? How you gonna know when I'm cooking up something good? Turn on your notifications and we'll see you next time.